Hello, and welcome to another episode from Mental Mommy. Thank you and welcome for visiting today. Today, we're going to talk about 5 tools to add to your mental health toolbox. If this is your first time visiting, I'm Giovanna. I go by the name Mental Mommy, and the purpose of the Mental Mommy channel is to help parents to understand and manage how to be stress-free and mentally well so that you can impact your family dynamics in a positive way to have positive interactions with your family and children. So, one of the things that I have done in my life is I have developed my mental health toolkit. It has taken me so many years to develop this mental health toolkit, but this mental health toolkit is what I call my Mental Mommy toolkit. And it has all of the best mental health tools in it that I feel resonate with me, that I can connect to. They help calm me down, they help ground me, they help keep me regulated, they keep helping me grow and heal as a human. So one of my greatest things and challenges that I want to put before you today, before we go any further, is to develop the concept of finding you or creating you a mental health toolkit, one that resonates with you and allows you to hold on to all of the strategies and tools you can use when you're not feeling your best. These things for me have made me a more healthier parent and a more healthier person. And thankfully to all that I've been through, I have been allowed to create a wonderful toolkit, which I want to share with you on my channel. So today, my top 5 tools to add to your toolkit, first of all, starts with you learning how to prioritize yourself. Prioritizing yourself, you will hear me talk about a lot because for me as a parent or a person before I had children, one of the things that I did not do as much and that I'm learning how to do more is prioritize myself. Okay. And not only prioritize myself, but in me prioritizing myself, I'm starting to look at myself with a whole different lens and more self-worth about how much I actually love myself. Because it was through some of my experiences where I realized that, yeah, I said surface level that I love myself, but loving myself meant that I was going to treat myself totally different. And that was something that I had to learn as I started to prioritize myself. Okay. In different episodes, I'll talk on this a lot because this is at the core of me being healthy. It's at the core of me being a better parent and a better person who is stress free and mentally well. All right. So, like I said before, we're going to first of all prioritize yourself. So, they're sort of like, for me, I look at them like the ABCs of prioritizing yourself. The A is accept you. One of the things that throughout my life I have not done necessarily is accept who I am. I feel like I am a very authentic person, but sometimes I wouldn't live in being that authentic person because I wanted other people to like me or be my friends or be my partner or to be able to fit in at a certain job, at a certain situation or an event. So at times I didn't live in my authenticity, meaning I was not my true self. Okay. I know that I am a lover. I'm a nurturer. I believe in being happy. I like to be kind and compassionate to others. On top of that, I feel like I'm smart. I move fast when I do tasks. I can strategize really well. Those are the things that I need to accept about myself. At times, I did not do that, and I would dim my light or I would just hide in the shadows so others couldn't see me. So, if you're watching me on this channel right now, you have to know that I have prioritized myself. Getting on a camera and just talking and sharing my truth and sharing my skeletons was never in the cards for me because I didn't prioritize myself. But now that I've learned how to be healthy and I learned to heal from that version of myself, I want to share it with other people because I know how painful it was for me to go through those experiences. And I'm sure it's someone out there just like me who needs to hear someone who looks like them or that they can believe in that's actually gone through the test of the fire and have walked out just beautiful on the other side of it. So I'm here to say that you can accept you for who you authentically are and be okay with it. Okay. That's my A. My B is creating boundaries. Growing up in the community and culture that I did, for me, I realized that I had never been taught about boundaries and I didn't have tight boundaries. I had very loose boundaries, and sometimes having those types of loose boundaries put me in situations that weren't healthy for me mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, definitely not financially. So I had to start creating boundaries around every area of my life to make sure that I created a safe space for me, that I did not add extra stress or worry into my life, and that I did not compromise my mental health. So I learned that having the boundaries of saying no when you are actually doing a yes is something that I had to put in place. And sometimes I realized after reflecting that at work or in certain areas of my life, I was boundaried up really, really well. But then I looked and reflected on other areas of my life and I realized that my boundaries were not as strong as boundaries I had in other areas and with other people. So I realized that I had to prioritize myself and look at my boundaries and realize what was safe for me, what was going to work for me to be able to be okay without compromising my authenticity. All right. C. C is connect with your source. For me, connecting with my source was super important because I know that I have a connection with my source and my source constantly is leading and guiding me. But sometimes when I wasn't being authentic and when I didn't have boundaries, even if my source and my belief system was saying, hey, girl, I need you to do this, or I need you to stop doing this. I don't need you to help this person. I don't need you to go to this place. Any of those things, or if they told me, I need you to help this person, or I need you to go to this place, I wasn't listening because I was so out of myself. My higher power, my belief system, my source could not feed me the information I needed to have clarity. I know that in our religious beliefs, a lot of times we pray for God to help us and guide us and lead us. But if we're not being authentic to ourselves, if we don't have boundaries, sometimes it was hard for me to understand when he was talking to me and what he was telling me to do. So that's why I had to prioritize myself because I realized I needed to be authentic and be who I was designed to be. I needed to have better boundaries. And I also needed to connect with my source so I could hear and do everything that I was supposed to do. I am a woman who believes that I am here for a purpose. I believe that everyone has a purpose. However, some of us may not be able to tap into our purpose the way that we want to because we're not connected and we're not prioritizing ourselves. Or maybe we don't even understand who we are. And we'll talk about that in a separate video. But the second tool that I have in my toolbox that I think everyone should have is exercise. Anybody who knows me knows that there's only going to be a limited type of exercise that I'm going to do. I am going to walk. I will do yoga. I will do sauna. I will do maybe Tai Chi, different things like that. Those are the types of exercises that I do that make me feel good because it's all about prioritizing myself and accepting who I am and being authentic to that, right? So think about what exercises you like to do. Do you like to jog? Do you like to run? Do you like to go to the gym? Do you like to just do different things? Like what exercise meets your authentic needs and desires and matches with who you are as a person? I challenge you to make sure you're doing those things because the more you exercise, the more you can connect to any of those activities. It starts to help release some of the stress that's in your body. You often hear people saying you need to do at least 30 minutes of activity a day. And I do challenge you to do at least 30 minutes of some type of exercise or movement to help get your body going and your lymphatic system moving. Okay. The third tool I would have to say is to nurture your mental health. Like I said, I've struggled with my mental health for many years. And I'm really thankful at this point that I can sit before you and share my mental health journey. It has been a journey, but guess what? I am thriving. I am healthy. I feel more mentally sound than I've ever felt before. And it comes from me making sure that I nurture my mental health, which in part is creating this toolbox. So a part of nurturing your mental health could be that you go to therapy. I know there are some people who aren't really big on therapy, but if you don't do therapy, you could do journaling. You could do meditation. You could do listen to different binaural beats, different things like that. Help your brain to start moving in a different way. For me, I like all of the above. I love a good talk therapy. I love a good deep imagining, or better yet, a meditation. I love to listen to the binaural beats. It's different times in my journey and through my life or through our day that I'll go into my toolkit and be like, hey, you know what? I need to listen to a meditation for 10 minutes so I can reset my mind and I can get my nervous system calm and I can jump back into life and being a parent, mom, worker, whatever the case may be. I instantly decide, because I have the tools in my toolkit, then I'm able to decide which tool to pull out at which moment. So I don't have to live in one of the trauma responses of life, such as fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. I don't have to live that way for a long period of time because I pull on my tools to help regulate me. Okay. The fourth one is to regulate yourself often. One of the things that I never learned until I got older and on my in therapy and just researching how to be a better, more healthier person, I learned about being that we live in spaces of being regulated and dysregulated. Okay. Regulated is when you're calm. Dysregulated is when you're not calm. You're frustrated. You're stressed out. You have the deep breathing, but it's not the deep breathing that you're trying to calm down. It's the where you're almost hyperventilating because you're going so fast. You're doing so much, and you're just not regulated. You're not calm. You're not able to think straight because when we're dysregulated, our brains cannot think in the right manner. Have you ever said to yourself, you know what, let me just calm down before I think about this or make a decision? Well, scientifically, you have to do that because you cannot or do not make good decisions when you're in a heightened state of an arousal. If you are frustrated, you're mad, you're angry, you're getting all of these negative emotions coming to you all at once, you are dysregulated. Now, you can be regulated and feel these things, but your actions will be totally different. Okay. And so I'm not talking about those situations where you're just sitting in your feels. I'm talking about when you're literally angry, you're hollering, you're cussing, you're fussing, you're snipping at people. That's when you're dysregulated. That's when you need to take a moment and pull out a tool to help you calm down and get to be at a better space and place emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, because being dysregulated also adds extra health issues onto you. And we know that if we are parents, we need and want to be here for our children. So we have to do everything we can to make sure we're more calm, we're more healthy, we're more focused so that we can live a life, a long life, and be here to enjoy everything that we were designed and created to enjoy. All right. Last but not least is where we have what we call the glow strategy. You create your glow strategy. You're probably saying, what is a glow strategy? Well, I am here to help you understand that. I will also do another video about the glow strategy. A couple of years ago, I decided to, as I created my mental health toolbox, right? I sat back and I thought about, how did I get here? What was my strategy? Okay. And in doing that, I realized that I had a strategy called the glow strategy. And because I like to walk every day in the spirit of gratefulness, gratitude, appreciation, and just purpose. So in doing that, I felt like I was always glowing. But like I said, I had to think back, like, how did I get here? I came from a place of having suicidal thoughts. I had places of being mentally tormenting myself, negative thoughts, not thinking I could be good enough, not thinking that anyone would listen to me, not thinking that I was loved enough, not thinking I was worthy. So many mental thoughts that intruded and impeded on my mental health and my mindfulness that I was just like, you know what? How did I get to this place? I want to be able to help another person get their mental together. And that is how the GLOW strategy was created. And the GLOW strategy stands for, the G stands for ground yourself. The L stands for leverage, innovation, and tools. The O stands for optimize the path. And the W stands for work the plan. In this GLOW strategy, I also believe in having affirmations because I have learned, and I have to constantly remind myself that any of the thoughts that are wired in my brain from my childhood trauma, any of them that are still there, I have to at times start to move them out. They only pop up at certain times, maybe when I'm starting to do something new, or it's something I haven't done before and I'm sort of scared, so in fear, and just the newness of uncertainty of where something's going to go, I could find myself having these intrusive thoughts that want to tell me everything that I can't do and I can't be, right? So I've decided to make sure I constantly am affirming myself. I am telling my mind and I'm rewiring my neural pathway to understand who I am, not allowing my thoughts to tell me. I tell my thoughts what I want it to believe. Okay. So that is the GLOW strategy in short. I will do a video on the GLOW strategy to share that with you. And you can also get your own personal GLOW strategy handout to start using the GLOW strategy for your own life. So once again, very quickly, I'm going to go over the 5 tips, the 5 tools you need to have in your mental health toolbox in order for you to be the most stress-free and mentally well version of yourself that you can be. Number 1 is prioritize yourself. Remember, we have the ABCs of number 1, which is accept yourself, create boundaries, and connect with your source. Number 2 is to exercise in some form, some way for at least 30 minutes. Number 3 is nurture your mental health. Number 4 is to regulate yourself often. And number 5 is to create your GLOW strategy. All right. Thank you for watching. If you stuck in here with me, I want to say I am proud of you. I know that you are going to change. You are going to heal just because you took the time today to do the work. So please make sure that you actually give us a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, put on your TikToks, Instagram to direct people back to the channel. We want to reach out to as many people as possible so they can create the change that they so desire and they're destined to live in their own life as a parent or a person. Okay. Thank you again. I appreciate you. If you have any comments, please put them in the chat. Leave a message. And if there's any topics you want me to address, please let me know. I am here to help and support, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great